Jeremy Johnson has many questions. Favorite Halo game and favorite Halo weapon. This is going to come as a shock to most people. I've played a total of 1 hour of Halo, and that was in college. I know nothing about Halo, so I can't give you an answer on those. In Destiny, will you be a lone wolf or play with friends? I like being a lone wolf in games, partly because my high school and college friends don't really play games anymore, but partly because I like the challenge that comes with it. But I imagine I'll have quite a few people to play with in Destiny when it rolls around, so it's probably going to be a little bit of both. Favorite food, also from Jeremy Johnson. Nothing beats steak and mashed potatoes with a little bit of garlic. Barbecue pulled pork, very close second. Very close. Like, it's like steak and then like pulled pork right there. Brent Cockman asks, why are you Datto and I am not? Not too sure why anyone would want to be Datto in the first place, honestly. If this is an actual question, then the name Datto comes from Final Fantasy X. There's a mini game called Blitzball, and one of your teammates is called Datto. I used Datto a lot, and then my friends started calling me Datto, and there you go. That's how I'm Datto. You can be an honorary Datto. Is that cool? CPZ asks, you are able to upgrade almost everything in Destiny. My question is, can you upgrade your super? For example, the Hunter's Golden Gun. Can you get more than 3 shots with it? You will be absolutely able to upgrade your super abilities. As for anything specific, like regarding Golden Gun, we haven't seen or gotten a list of upgrades available yet, but I can definitely see being able to increase the ammo count of Golden Gun as a plausible upgrade. Whether it's actually in the game or not is another story. Joseph Chris asks, does Destiny need vehicles? I mean, Halo has fairly enough vehicles like the Ghost, Wraith, Scorpion, Banshee, despite all its small maps in comparison to Destiny. If you ask me, Destiny's huge world definitely needs heavy vehicles. I'm personally not a big vehicle fan in regards to first-person shooters. That being said, we will be seeing vehicles in Destiny, and I think to an extent, Destiny does need vehicles. The Sparrow's a good start, a fast, weaponless vehicle that can get you around from place to place quickly. Will we see vehicles beyond that? Probably. Does it need a lot? I don't think so, but there are plenty of people who will argue otherwise. Dylan Owen asks, will there be a dynamic weather system in Destiny? I am going to quote PS4dailies.com article from April 28th, 2014. Quote, as Bungie's Eric Osborne explains, they worked very hard at making a believable world with real-time weather and daylight effects where both day and night maps are possible, in addition to different weather effects such as snow and rain. So, yes, I guess. Colin Breeding asks, are you getting as tired about the mystery around Destiny? I, for one, am losing patience. I'm also, losing patience. I'm definitely tired of the mystery shtick as well. Both someone who does YouTube videos and someone who just wants to play the freaking game. I was pretty tired of it back in January. But I'm not pulling a Destructoid and losing interest in the game just because they haven't shown us, the meat of the game yet. Osvaldo Reyes asks, what is the size of Destiny? How much space do I need on my PS3 to play Destiny? We don't know how big the install is yet, but I imagine you'd need quite a lot of space for the install. My guess would be 35 gigs, but that is just a total guess. It could be more, it could be less. I don't know. 35 is a good estimate right now, I guess. Arian Johnson. I wanted to ask you if you think the Warlock might get a little more beef to their armor, because I really wanted to be one, and the robe is cool and all, but I mean there's no armor whatsoever. And considering it's the class with the least amount of armor, do you think you would make up for that with DPS? The Warlock will primarily feature the robe as its defining armor piece. I haven't really seen any evidence as of now to dispute that, but then again, we barely know anything about armor right now. So it's certainly possible that we could see different armor pieces for the Warlock. As for the Warlock's glass cannon-ness-like appearance, it appears that that is one way that they can be built. You can build yourself like a glass cannon if you want, which is the Order of the Void focus. Or you can perhaps build yourself a little more defensive and support-based with the Order of the Sun. And there's going to be plenty more focus to choose from as well. We just don't know about them yet. Yeah, we don't know for sure until we see more focus. K-Dub, do you think we are going to get a limited edition Destiny PS4? I hope so. I've held off my purchase for this, but if it's not here by the beta, I'm going to have to cave in. There will be PS4 bundles with Destiny. Whether or not it will be a special edition Destiny console, like we've seen with kind of Xbox 360 consoles, I don't know. Our chances of seeing one before the beta, I think, are pretty low. Usually those kind of bundles come with, you know, they kind of coincide with the actual release of the game. So that would be September. I'll put it this way. I'm in your position right now as well, where I'd like to get one, but if the beta is here before that happens, I'll be buying a regular PS4. Right now, my money, if I were to bet, my money is on me buying a regular PS4. The Gamer of Today and Gustavo Rubio have similar questions. What do you do other than provide us with awesome YouTube and Twitch content? And why aren't you working in the gaming industry? And what would you like to see in the collector's edition? For a living, I am an assistant editor for reality television. Basically, I take all the footage that a show films and I organize it. I line up the cameras with each other. I line up the audio with the cameras. I organize any B-roll, stuff like that. That's a pretty bare bones explanation. There's plenty of other stuff, but that's it in essence. Why don't I work in the game industry? I didn't like coding when I was in college. I suck at art, and I'm not original. Much more of a producer type, you know, kind of getting the stuff that people need to get the job done, keeping schedules and goals, kind of stuff like that. Much more management related. I would love to work in the games industry, or at least give it a shot, but to even have a chance at getting the most low-level, you know, QA job, I'd probably need to go to a specialty school, and I really don't have that opportunity available to me right now. What would I like to see in the collector's edition? I don't know. I think maps of each planet would be pretty cool. Maybe like a model of the ghost that lights up or can change shape or something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. Flint3125 asks, what is your dream job? You've certainly made a name for yourself here. Do you aspire to expand it into something more, or are you happy as a lark where you are? My dream is to become a feature film editor. But I definitely plan on giving YouTube a good shot, and taking it as far as I can. If something ever comes from it, great. If not, I have my actual career that I can fall back on and continue doing. Josh Phillips, what's your thought on the Destiny Special Edition, if there is one? I'm kind of tired of giant statues and would like to see something a little more creative. You know, to be honest, most of my Collector's Edition stuff just kind of sits on the shelf in their respective box. I never want to take the stuff out to get dusty. I never want to touch it so it doesn't get ruined. So it just ends up chilling on the shelf. I thought my ghost idea was cool, but I guess that is kind of very statuesque. So I don't really know. I don't know. Sorry. Bradley Boustert asks, Titan, Great Guardian or Greatest Guardian? Put me down for greatest. Titan number 1. Greatest. Hunter Romanco asks, are you a cat or dog person? Are there any animals you would prefer to have as a pet over a cat or a dog? I'm pretty split on that. I just don't like the responsibility that comes with having a pet. But then again, you know, who does really, right? My parents' cat might as well be the spawn of Satan, but my friends have cats who are super chill. So I guess I'd be a cat person because they're lazy as hell like me, and they don't take as much work as a dog. Someone else wants to take care of the dog? Sure, let's get a dog, but I'm lazy. Smiley Face asks, will raids get repetitive? What is the replay value of raids? As you know, WoW is one of the more popular MMOs, and there are many raids to choose from in it, but I worry that Destiny's raids will feel like a cheap knockoff of WoW's. I also feel that raids will lose their replay value. Once we memorize a raid's stages, we'll be able to take down the boss in mere minutes. Also, by the time we are at a high enough level to effectively carry out raids, I think we'll be so good at the game that raids will see like child's play. Well, for the last part of your statement, tell that to the people who are wiping on the first bosses of looking for raid group in World of Warcraft. I don't think that'll be the case at all. World of Warcraft, leveling the cap, kind of taught you about your skills and about your class and how to play it. Dungeons were kind of a taste of raids, and then raids really put your game knowledge and awareness to the test. And trust me when I say that there are plenty of people who do not get raiding, and they're never going to get it. I don't know what it is, they just can't comprehend it. Raids at some point will get repetitive. It just comes from practicing the encounters and doing the encounters over and over and over. I remember for a time that the raid Black Temple in World of Warcraft was the highest level end-game content available, and it was the only raid for over a year. I mean, there were raids, other raids that came out in the past, but you weren't getting the best loot from them, so there was no point in doing them. It got incredibly boring, to the point where some people in my guild started to quit, and they would just come back when a new raid would come out. My guild went from clearing that raid in 3 to 4 days when we were first learning the fights, to clearing it in an hour and a half when we were experienced and we had the gear. It's definitely a problem that happens with all content. It's just going to get stale if you do it so many times. If nothing new is released, then people are going to get super bored of grinding the same thing over and over. However, I don't think Bungie is not going to go an entire year without releasing... Rather, I don't think Bungie is going to have a period of time as long as Black Temple being the only raid available without releasing some new content. And they're supposedly going to have something for us to do every day. Something new every day. It might not be raids, but it should be enough to keep people entertained regardless. Hard modes and leaderboards would be a great addition, adding that kind of extra element of competition, getting the fastest times, keeping that replayability in the game. Sorry, that was a bit of a long answer. David Blake asks, I know in Call of Duty I have a bad feeling because I'll never unlock everything, and I know in MMOs there's just too much content to ever complete. Do you think Destiny will have a good balance of content, freshness, and making a realistic campaign? Destiny will definitely have a great balance of things to do. Bungie has been driving that into our brains since we first started learning about the game. There's always going to be something to do for anything that you ever want to do in the game. There's always going to be something to fit your mood. Two similar questions. Zac Tanner and BMAT17. My biggest barrier to any MMO has been finding people with whom I can play. What's the best way to find people with compatible schedules and hopefully pleasant personalities? Who do you plan on raiding with in Destiny? Old friends from previous MMOs, or do you plan on meeting new people in Destiny? Also, any advice on choosing a guild? I've only raided in WoW, and I just ended up in the same guild as the people that I met and leveled with while playing. I'm hoping that happens in Destiny too. Well, in an MMO, you would typically see the different guild names on different players, and you would ask if they had a website, and you'd check it out, or you'd check your Realm forums and check for a guild list, or you can go to the recruitment forums and look for a guild there. For Destiny, you can check the community section on Bungie.net, or otherwise check around some popular Destiny fan sites. Clansofdestiny.com has a lot of clans listed already, and I'm sure that list is growing every day, so I would definitely check out clansofdestiny.com as well. As for BMAT17's part of the question, I definitely think that is what will happen with a lot of players as well. You'll find yourselves in a strike together, you'll do well, you'll add yourselves to each other's friends list, etc. I don't currently have anything fleshed out as to whom I will be raiding with, but it's not going to be my MMO friends of past, it will be new friends. Edward Kaplan has a few questions. Quite a few questions. Do you think Bungie will attempt to utilize the Xbox Kinect in any way? No, I don't think so. I don't think we'll see much use out of it. How old are you? I am 24. I am 24. 25 in September. Sorry, correcting my knuckle really loud. Where do you work? As I mentioned earlier, I'm an assistant editor but I'm freelance, so I'm never really working in the same place for a really long time. The longest job I've ever had was 6 months, and that was as a production assistant. Once the show's over, my job's done, and I gotta go find a new show to work on. I've worked on shows for Sci-Fi, NBC, Fox, and CBS. How many hours per week do you spend on making videos and researching? Is the time spent worth it? Well, I'll give you an example. I was able to make around 40 minutes of content off the Devil's Lair reveal. It was the biggest reveal that we've had since probably E3 of last year or the Game Informer series. During that week, I got about 3 to 4 hours of sleep every night for the entire week, and I spent all of my time that I wasn't working at my job on videos. So around 9 to 10 hours of working on videos, 10 hours for my job, and then what was ever left over to sleep and eat. That went on from the beginning of the week till just the beginning of the following week. So it really varies on how much content there is to cover. The raid video that I made, there was a section about Lady Vosh that I did in After Effects. That 5 minute block, 6 minute block took about 8 to 9 hours to do in After Effects, including exports and fixes. I probably could have done it a little bit faster, but I was streaming, so I was kind of explaining what I was doing. So maybe I could have done it in 6 to 7 hours. So that video took about 15 to 20 hours to make. Something like the PS4 sharing commercial maybe took 3 hours. It was really short. There was only like 20 seconds. And that was from start to finish, literally loading the video up, watching it, typing my script, audio, video, export, thumbnail, etc. The reason why I go so balls to the wall is because right now we're strictly news-based. So everyone kind of puts out their own perspective on the news, but it's mainly fact-driven. And if I'm not first, in my crazy mind, everyone will have watched the other videos and will not give a damn about my video. So once there's more freedom, it's not going to be as bad, but I'm still going to go pretty hard as I can at making videos. Is it worth it? Well, if you're talking about how much money I actually make from doing it, then it is absolutely not worth it. And I make barely any money from this, and will continue to make negligible amounts of money for quite a long time, unless my subscriber count spikes to 100,000 in the next 8 seconds. Is it worth it beyond the monetary reasons? Absolutely. I love doing it. Lots of people seem to enjoy my videos, and seeing comments, like, great job on the video, or awesome video, thanks, is totally worth it. Will you cover other games after Destiny releases? Maybe. I'd like to, take a look at and explore other games on my other channel, if the time permits. That's definitely possible. And finally, words of wisdom or mottos. Do you have any? A lot of people ask me about making YouTube videos and how to get started on YouTube. So I guess I'll give my one-liner on making YouTube content. I obviously had some help, but I don't think I would have gotten the help in the first place if my videos weren't good. So my philosophy in making content is this: only make videos that you yourself would watch. If you came across your own video, would you watch your own video? And if the answer is no, then you need to retool how you make videos.